Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 Season Mode Playthrough. It is the FeatherLite Modified Series doubleheader once again here tonight on the channel. We're going to be racing two races as always for the Modified Series in the same stream. First starting off with our final road course race of the season at the Old Spice Speedway before going to Indianapolis Raceway Park, IRP, for our second race of the night. Just 4 races to go in the season. We're about to see what is going to happen here in these two races. First, a 66 lapper again on the second and final road course race of the year before heading to IRP. For those of you just tuning in, thank you for tuning in here tonight. We were supposed to have the NASCAR Heat 5 Roval race, but no surprise, NASCAR Heat 5 crashed on me last night as soon as I exited the stream and exited out of the... Well, I didn't even exit out of the career mode. So what I was going to do was I was going to qualify last night. So that way when I got home tonight, about 7:30ish, that I was going to start the stream up. All I had to do was qualify and get the stream ready to go. So the reason why we were not running that is because when I went to log into the race to qualify and practice last night, in the middle of it loading to get to the screen that you would normally see when loading into a race, it crashed on me. So NASCAR Heat 5 crashed on me. When I logged back in, it sent me all the way back to the Pocono doubleheaders again, just like it did before the Bristol night race. Same issue, literally twice in the span of a week, having the same issue, same crash, sent me right back into the same issue. It is going to take me about 2 hours to get through all that. It took me about an hour and a half last time, and we have an extra 3 races to get through that we didn't last time. So it is going to take every bit of about very close to 2 hours for me to simulate through that. When I got home at 7:30 tonight, I was not going to have time to simulate that, get to 9:30, and get that race in. So what I'm going to do is do this doubleheader, and then simulate some of it tonight before I go to bed, but not all of it because I don't want to be up too late. And then after I simulate part of it, I'll just have to simulate the rest on Thursday before we get it going. So, sorry, but again, it's a NASCAR Heat 5 issue that we've had since the game released, where we just have these instances where the game crashes. It's bad enough I've had to do the points myself, but now we got to simulate everything, how get all the money. Yeah, it takes forever, you guys know. So, thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight, though. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Charlotte Roval race will hopefully be on Thursday. Hopefully. We can get that going by Thursday is what I'm shooting for. We'll just have to wait and see. But, yeah, we'll have some action here tonight on the channel. And, yes, Chuck Spicer will be trying to get a win streak going here, keep it going. He has won the last 2 races. Get inch closer to a championship within both races tonight as well. R6, Cars One Boy, Oni, Cap 24, Kyle Larson fan, Patrick Shadley, Lionette. Welcome to the stream, everybody. A little spicy with Spicer. There we go. Spicer qualified 13th in tonight's race, middle of the pack. This is going to be interesting. 66-lap event at the Old Spice Speedway. Green flag is in the air. We're road course racing in the FeatherLite Modified Series. The first race here at Old Spice Speedway earlier this season was 100 laps. This one is 66, a much shorter race. It's going to fly by here tonight, then 150 laps at IRP later on tonight. A little contact there on the opening lap. 2 turns in, and now a little bit of a stack up in the outside lane, allowing Spicer to maybe go 3 wide through turn 3. It's going to be side by side by the time they get into turns 4 and 5 now. Side by side for second up through the pack as well. Contact up the track. Car nearly into the outside wall. That was Bill Calhoun in the 149 who got into Chuck Spicer in the 148 off the exit of turn 7. This is an 8-turn road course. Spicer's got to try to protect that points lead, especially this late in the season. We have had a lot of practice at this track recently. We've already ran a truck, a Busch Series race, and we did run the modifieds here earlier in the season. I believe like the 5th race of the year. Spicer getting blocked off the exit of turn 3 that time. Not the greatest qualifying effort for Spicer. The top 10 runs As long as Travis Foster doesn't outrun him by too much every one of those races. And he almost got ran off the track getting into turn 8. That was Travis Foster in the 175, so the driver he is racing for the championship right now was the one who just about ran him off the track into turn 8. And even with that contact, Foster got through turn 8 pretty well. On the inside and now the outside to make a pass for 6. Foster trying to pull away. Thought you said the online races would be this weekend. No, I said last night. Well, I wanted to run it yesterday, but my sister's birthday's today, so we went out to Cleveland basically all day yesterday. So when I got home, it was a little later in the day when we ran that Talladega race, and we were going to have no chance to get it in. So what I said was that we were going to plan for Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I still plan on that. Even with the Charlotte Roval being ran, we'll just run them back to back. We'll probably have the Roval at like 5 o'clock in the evening and then run the NASCAR online lobby, NASCAR Heat 5 online lobby later that night. Probably about like 8:30 or so. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. Didn't you just do this track? Yes, it was in the Busch Series. The last Busch Series race we ran Old Spice Speedway. It was a 100. No, that was a 200 lap race. That was the one that took almost 3 hours to finish. This one's only 66 laps in the modified series. Thank goodness, so not nearly as long. Now the pass for position into turn 1. Ooh, Spicer slid a little wide there in turn 2, though. He still holds clear after making the pass that corner before for 7th. We'll see what Spicer can do in this one. Driver's being very aggressive here early on. We know there's no cautions in the modified series in NASCAR 2005. Foster looking to make a pass now for 5th place. Maybe get back inside the top 5. Side by side in turn 1. Almost ran the 187 car wide into the grass. So hard to run side by side on a road course. Really in the center of a corner at anything. Doesn't matter what you're in. Sports cars, stock cars, open wheel, like these modifies even. So difficult. Foster made a difficult pass. Somehow they made it through there without any contact. And he completed it on Jeff McFarland. Now Spicer's got the run on McFarland. McFarland looked to throw the late block, thought better of it. And Spicer outbreaks him into turn 8, clears him off the exit of the corner. McFarland getting a good run in the draft now down the longest straightaway of the track, across the bridge before getting into turn 1. Spicer trying to cut low and block and defend into turn 1 now. McFarland going to go a little too wide. And he's in the grass and hard into the guardrail goes Jeff McFarland as he overran turn 1. Causing him to then overrun turn 2, slides into the grass, slides into the guardrail, and loses a ton of positions as they stack up off turn 2. You can see it in the track map on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Big stack up there at the back of the pack, a glob of cars having to check up as McFarland tries to get back on the racetrack. Again, no cautions in the modified series, so we do stay green with just less than 60 laps to go. Remember, this is race 1 of 2. We will be running the Indianapolis Raceway Park for race 2 here tonight for the modified series on the same stream, so you don't want to go anywhere. Already having our first accident. Road course racing here tonight. Great corner in turn 3. That was the best corner for Kevin Harvick, which is the driver we're running as in the Busch Series on NASCAR 05 just last weekend. Saturday night that race was ran. Spicer trying to break maybe a little early and set himself up perhaps a little bit better into turn 8. Nothing doing there. Spicer's really hooked up well in turn 1. Straight corner in turn 2. We know he's good in turn 3. And he's going to try to make the move on Travis Foster side by side. Foster beats him back to the gas. Spicer holding on strong. He'll have the inside in the next 2 corners. Foster will have the inside into turn 7. Turn 8, advantage will go back to Spicer in that U-turn. Spicer's in a prime position to get around Foster. Foster not going to run him wide this time. Heavy braking zone and clear in the center of the corner. Spicer's inside the top 5 for the first time tonight now, about 3 seconds off the race lead on lap 10. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness. Spicer almost got back into the gas a little too soon in turn 2, went a little wide. Yeah, again, NASCAR Heat 5 crashed on me last night after the stream. I was loading the screen, I was loading on the loading screen, trying to get the Charlotte Roval up and running. I was actually going to practice and qualify likely last night before I went to bed, so that way when I got home today after golfing and hanging out with a buddy of mine, that we were going to, or I was going to end up just having to run the race. I'd get home, get the stream started within like 5 minutes of getting home. Well, because the game crashed, it sent me back to the loading screen. It did not save anything from what I had done when I had to simulate the races the week prior, when we had the same issue before the Bristol night race where the game crashed, and then we couldn't run that race that night, had to run the Busch Series at Old Spice Speedway on NASCAR 05. It was just, same thing. Literally, same thing twice in 1 week. And now I have to go back through and simulate the races again, which is going to take me about 2 hours. So I didn't have enough time to do that from the time I got home today. So I'm going to have to do it on Thursday, which is my next day off. So hopefully I have enough time to take 2 hours out of my time and do that. I'll try to do some of it tonight, so it won't take me a full 2 hours on Thursday, but not the way I would like to start my day off later in the week, that's for sure. Maybe I can get off of work early one of these days this week, and things were slowing up the last couple weeks, but I chose to stay there, get my hours in, but I don't want to do that, but knowing I have something that's going to take 2 hours out of my day on my day off, I might consider taking like a half day or something. I don't know. It's bull crap. We only got 5 more races of the career mode, and we won't have this issue anymore. So I'll shoot for Thursday. It's not 100% guaranteed, but I'm hoping. Oh, big stack up. I don't know if the second place driver got a little loose in turn 2. Ooh, a little contact in turn 3. Between the 2 cars battling for third, and I think the second place car might be holding them up a little bit. I think we will get to 1,000 subscribers when the new NASCAR game comes out. It kind of stinks that it's a much later release when last year's was in July, because we gained over 350 subscribers in like 2 months when NASCAR Heat 5 came out. That's where a lot of you guys first started coming in, because Heat 5 was new, so people are searching for Heat 5. It's going to be the same thing when NASCAR 21 comes out, I would have to imagine. I hope so. And thanks for you guys sticking around as well. A little more contact in turn 3, allowing Spicer to close the gap a little bit more between the third and fourth place drivers. Again, they got to be careful, especially with these being open wheel. Really good draft with the modified series as well, down longer straightaways. This road course being the case, New Hampshire, one of those tracks that get a bigger draft as well. Yeah, some of you guys were here when I played NASCAR Heat 4. The originals of the original fans of the channel. Spicer with a deep dive into turn 3, completes the pass and up to 4th. 83 fail. Oh, and now he overdrives turn 4 into the inside wall. 83 is making a bunch of mistakes. 13 starting position. Spicer is up to 4th in 16 laps. Danny Ross, next car in front of him. Good thing for Spicer running in 4th as Travis Foster's in 6th. He's already outrunning the second place points getter right now. Big dive into turn 2 for Spicer as he slides underneath one of the race cars. A wide entrance into the corner now. Side by side for 3rd. Unbelievable pass by the original 3rd place driver that he was side by side for 3rd place getting into the corner. Dive bombs underneath Kelly Walker to make the pass for 2nd. Walker trying to go wide and maybe set himself up, perhaps off the banking and then into turn 8. We'll see if he can maybe make a pass back. No, he goes a little wide in turn 8. Spicer tries to get underneath him, does get underneath him. Walker almost gets back to the gas. Contact between Spicer and Walker as they both keep it off the outside walls. The wheels got locked together. Spicer went up the racetrack trying to side draft the car to his outside, and he just ran right into the left rear, popping both cars wide. Very easy for the tires to get hooked together. These open wheel cars, luckily nobody went airborne there. The 83 car's back to 4th place again. And right in line behind Chuck Spicer. And Spicer fell from about 1.2 seconds off the lead to about 2.7 off the lead, despite getting to 3rd. And the 83 will make the pass. Spicer trying to cross him back over. Spicer's going to lose a spot. Now he's 3 seconds back. It's Brady Barnes in the 83 car, by the way. Spicer trying to draft with him. Down this long straightaway. Spicer trying to undercut turn 2. Slides in the center of the corner. Gets the grip down. 83 going to maybe try to block. Spicer cuts down into turn 3. Gets back underneath him again. Can't complete the pass, though. Barnes going to beat him back to the gas, but they're still side by side into turns 4 and 5. Spicer hanging in there, almost making contact now. Spicer trying desperately to get back around him. Trying to outbrake him to the inside, but Barnes going to try to throw the block again. No, I don't plan on playing Tony Stewart sprint cars again. I kept telling myself I was going to go back to it, but with all this NASCAR stuff we've got going on, I'm having a lot more fun with this than what I had with that video game. So I'm like, yeah, don't push yourself to it if I wasn't enjoying it enough. Brady Barnes looks like he might have the fastest car on the racetrack all of a sudden. He's pulling Spicer. It looked like he was faster than Kelly Walker, and then he ended up getting passed by Spicer in another car, and then the contact between Spicer and Walker led to Barnes getting back to 3rd place now. And he is running down 2nd pretty quickly. Not only there are no cautions, but there are no pit stops in the modified series as well. So all 66 of these laps, these cars are going to have enough fuel to make it to the end. Spicer's running some quick laps again. Really closed the gap on Barnes, who wanted the inside in the center of the corner. And what a pass by Chuck Spicer in turn 8. And now he's got to block down the longest straightaway of the racetrack. Barnes going to try to send it in. Oh, and he sends it into the left rear of Spicer. Into the grass goes Barnes, and here comes Travis Foster. Spicer just got cleaned out in turn 1. Somehow held on to his race car. Keeps it on the racing groove, and now again he goes from about 1.5 seconds off the lead to about 2.7 back once again. And now the 2nd place driver in points is up to 4th, looking for a chance to get in there and get around the points leader, Chuck Spicer. He did get around Barnes. Barnes only lost 1 position out of that. Play as Quinn Alf in the next video. Oh, if you guys vote for me to race as Alf, you guys will get to vote for one of the seasons in the Cup Series. Oh no, and the 2nd place driver has just blown an engine. On the inside of the track, Spicer to second now, and Foster gets held up. So does Brady Barnes, allowing Spicer to pull away from him. So now he's got less pressure from behind. How about that? It sounds like somebody who is already out of the race is coming back into the race. Or did he say car stopped on the track? Oh, so yeah, his car is stopped on the racetrack. I think that was whoever just blew their engine. Oh, he's in the barrier. So the second place driver who blew his engine the lap before ran into the tire barrier trying to get to pit road. He is stuck right now. Spicer just overran turn 8, got a little shaky. So Foster's in third. He's charging through the field as well. Spicer lost some time there. No operation. Welcome to the stream. You and your names, man. You and your names. Car was finally able to make it to pit road. Luckily, the barrier is quite a ways from the actual racing groove at Old Spice Speedway, which is not as normal for road courses. It's kind of on the outside of turn 6 before getting into 7, and it's not quite close enough down to turn 7 that you don't have to worry about it being in your racing groove if you're side by side. What? Bimbo Bakeries re-signed sponsors Stenhouse. Increase your thoughts, Keith. Is that really the name? Is that really the name of the company that sponsors those guys? I never realized it was Bimbo Bakeries. It's actually kind of funny. Indeed, make sure to like, share, subscribe as well. R6 is already stated. Got some good modified series action tonight. This is our first of 2 races. Almost halfway home already in this one. Then we'll have a 150 lap event at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Oh, jeez. I was looking at the chat. I overran turn 7. It's going to cost Spicer a little bit more time. But honestly, despite the contact he has made from time to time, there really isn't any damage on Spicer's race car, thankfully for himself. Foster slowly started to run him back down again, though. Checked it's a West Coast company. I don't really have many thoughts on that. I never really heard of it. You said re-signed, so like I didn't realize they were already sponsoring those 2 guys anyway, to be completely honest. Hey, I mean, good for JTG Doherty. They're a more underfunded team, so I guess, if they're locking on to both Priest and Stenhouse, they're both in contract seasons this year. Does that mean that they're both staying with JTG then? Which I'm honestly surprised that Priest is going to get a 4th season in that JTG car. Because I don't think he's done really anything in the first 3 seasons that have. So, I mean, the very, very beginning of this season is as good as it's been for Ryan Priest and JTG in the Cup Series. Outside of that, he has done absolutely next to nothing in the Cup Series, except for finishing the Daytona, like top 10 of the Daytona 500, like literally every season. I think his first 3 seasons in the Cup Series, he's finished in the top 10 of the Daytona 500 every time. I know he did his rookie season. I know he did this season. I want to say he did in 2019. I could be wrong on that, though. Or, I mean, 2020. I think he did in 2020. I have watched that show before, but not really. I more of a Drake and Josh guy when Nickelodeon was going on. Now there's obviously some issues going on with Drake Bell, so I don't know if that's right for me to say that. I did watch it when I was younger, though. SpongeBob was a classic. Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents. That was like kind of like my childhood, like cartoon / TV shows. Spicer's within a half a second of the lead for the first time tonight. Oh, and a little mistake by the race leader, Rod Hansen, in the 101. Overran turn 6, and Spicer is right there looking for the lead into turn 8. Oh, and he gets ran down on. Spicer did try to outbrake the 101, but then he kind of crowded him in the center of the corner, even with Spicer braking really late. Spicer trying to pull the block into turn 1, and Hansen gets back into him. Hard into the wall, and turn 1 goes Hansen. Spicer's still trying to catch his race car, and Travis Foster's up to second place now. Just crawling his way through the field. That was the same thing Kelly Walker did earlier in the race. Sorry, not Kelly Walker. That was Brady Barnes. Brady Barnes did the same thing where he got into the left rear of Spicer getting into turn 1. Remember, that's the longest straightaway of the racetrack from turn 8 to turn 1. And Foster is there now after Spicer's had to get the speed back up, and he's gotten ran over a couple times already, so you wonder what the handling is going to be like for Spicer, as he just got 5 bonus points for leading his first lap of the race. Foster is charging hard right now. That was a great set of corners in turns 1 and 2 for him. And he got the top 2 in points now, running first and second. Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. Foster's definitely got a less damaged race car than what Chuck Spicer does. Look at the pressure he puts on Spicer in turn 8. He is all over right now as we're halfway home at the conclusion of this current lap. A little wide in turn 3 that time for Spicer. Foster going to try to get underneath him, and I believe they are side by side. Nope. Little block by Spicer. Close battle for the race lead going on. And now Foster overruns turn 6 into the wall, much like Hansen did a few laps ago. Only that time it was behind Spicer instead of in front of him. Allowed Spicer to build a gap up, takes a lot of pressure off of him into turn 8, and now the third place car is starting to close in, and we have a 3-car battle for the race lead, all within a second of each other. Cross flags were halfway. Yes, I have seen Talladega Nights. It's been a while since I've watched it from start to finish, but I have seen it. I think we might have it on DVD somewhere too, honestly. You ain't first, you're last, indeed. Shake and bake. Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain made that great reference at Atlanta a few weeks ago. So we have seen a few accidents in this race. Caution's going to come out in this series, but it's really kind of kept it a close battle within the top 3, really, with everything going on. And then we saw the second place driver at the time blow an engine in this race as well. giving the lead now to the 2 points leaders. Spicer wants to keep Foster behind him. He does not want to give Foster 5 bonus points. And if Spicer leads the rest of the laps in this race, he will get the most laps led by just a couple laps over Hansen. Assuming Hansen led the first 30 laps before Spicer took the lead. Great corner in turns 1 and 2 that time for Spicer. Foster got a great corner as well, but couldn't close with how good Spicer got through there. Great drive into turn 3 by Spicer as well, but again, Foster is digging hard right now. Really trying to put the pressure on. Best lap is a 44.827 for Spicer. 45.276 was that last lap ran for him. This lap has been nearly perfect. Into turn 8, really good there as well. Spicer's doing a great job from the race lead. That last lap for him was a 44.946, about a tenth of a second slower than his fastest lap of the race, but we are over halfway done. Obviously, same tires from the start of the race in the modified series, so it's pretty good, all things considered. This track is so big, I don't think they're going to have to worry about catching lap traffic. Could be wrong. I don't think they're going to catch any for the end of this race. Spicer's pulled out to a 1 second lead now. That's a bummer, Michael. Welcome to the stream, though, by the way. You don't use that big red than F you, Ricky Bobby. Oh, wow. Foster hard into turn 8. Oh, and he gets into the left rear of Chuck Spicer. Foster's going to go wide, and now he is going to lose second place. Everybody's just charging hard, trying to get around Chuck Spicer in these corners. Most of the time it's been in turn 1, but that time it was turn 8. Spicer going to hold on to the lead. It's acting like it's the last lap every time they're trying to make a pass on somebody. It's not like Spicer is cutting him off either. He just keeps getting drilled in the left rear every time. And in that same spot, definitely don't want to risk blowing a fuel cell. Keeps happening over and over and over again. Luckily, it's a shorter race, but still. Ooh, Spicer overran turn 2, clipped the wall just a tiny bit. It's an awkward angle where that wall was pointed to, but definitely got back in the gas just a tad too soon. Second place starting to run him down. 0.6 of a second is the difference between the top two. We'll have about 26 laps to go. Now we got 26 to go. Spicer just overran turn 1 as well right there, and he's in danger of losing the lead here before long. Can't tell who this new driver is in second place. He's trying to do all he can to draft off of Chuck Spicer. Gains a tiny bit of time there in turn number 8, but it looked like Spicer might have beat him back to the gas. I don't think he's quite close enough to make the move into turn 1. Lost a little bit of ground in turn 2. Spicer tries to back up turn 3, cuts it low. It's going to work for him. Spicer a little loose. It was a big mistake. Ground gained by the second place driver in turn 8 now. A wheel spin off the exit of the corner for each of the top 2. Big dive into turn 3 by both of them. I think Spicer might have nailed his corner a little bit better, though. Gapped him. Foster's starting to slowly close back in on the top 2 as well after trying to make a pass for the lead a little while back. Got into Spicer. Spicer not going to make this easy, but he gets clipped one too many times. He's not going to be able to save it every time either. All he can really do is hit his marks and just hope he doesn't get ran into a 4th time from behind. Spicer a little loose there in turn 7. A little bit of a hiccup. Might cost him some time down the straightaway into the hard braking turn 8. Actually held on pretty decently that time. Still 22 laps to go. We do have 2 drivers out of the race today. Big tire squealing going on in turn 2 for Spicer that time. Half a second, a little less than that now between the top 2. This is seeming like a race that could come down to the final lap with the way things are shaping up with the top 3. Could be an epic road course race finish. Seen some wild races at Old Spice Speedway in this NASCAR 2005 playthrough, but this one has been close to maybe being up there if the finish is going to be a classic. I think you'd have to expect that this could be, honestly, the best road course race we've had in this game, considering this is the only road course we've ran so far in this game. We haven't gotten to Infineon or Watkins Glen in the Cup Series. Haven't raced at Watkins Glen in any of the other series yet either. Outside of, obviously, NASCAR Heat 5, but Heat 4, Thunder 04. The Heel, welcome to the stream. First time I ever watched NASCAR, I get asked that question quite a bit. I don't really have a time where I could say, like, oh yeah, that was the first time I watched NASCAR, because, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, especially if I was over at my grandparents' house, I was placed right in front of the TV. The races were on the weekends. I'd go to their house a lot on the weekends to watch the races. And, you know, even if I wasn't with them, I'd try to find a way to watch the race, you know. But, so I can't really state when the first race I watched. If I had to assume, like, around the first season I had started watching races, I'd probably say anywhere from 2002 to 2004 I could start, like, vividly remembering races, like, at least moments. Oh, man! Spicer about got cleaned out again. This time it was in the right rear by Kelly Walker. That was a jump scare right there. And again, Spicer holds on to the race lead. Less than 20 laps to go. Kelly Walker drove it in deep into turn 2. Spicer again gets drilled. But again, he holds on to the race lead. Down into turn 1. Into turn 2. Oh, big check up there by the second place driver, and Foster might try to make the pass on him in turn 3. He gets fended off. A 1 second lead now for Spicer. It's not saying anything. We still got 17 laps to go this time by. Foster trying to get back to second place. Looked on the outside in turn 7. Into the outside again in turn 8. Surprised he didn't try to cross him over to the inside. Now to lap 50. Spicer has just been pretty much caught up from behind a couple times. You have to imagine all this damage building up on the rear of his car. That's the 4th time he's gotten ran into from behind. And 3 separate corners of the track now. Turn 8 once, turn 2 once, and turn 1 twice. And he's not even really blocking half the time either. He just gets drilled. Somebody trying to outbrake him and run right into him. Spicer trying to keep his composure. 16 more laps. And more his car gets beat up. And the longer they go into these runs, everybody's tires are going to be shot by the end of this one. Gotta say though, all the laps we do on this road course, it's still fun to come back to Old Spice Speedways. One of the OG road courses in the NASCAR video game playthroughs over the EA Sports days. And these guys not going to catch lap traffic in just a 66 lap road course race on a track that only takes about 44 to 45 seconds to get around for these leaders as well. And only 22 cars, considering it is the modified series. Only 20 of them are still in the race. 2 have DNF so far. A little wheel hop that time at turn 2 for Spicer. Maybe a little wider than what he wanted to go in turn 3 as well. Kelly Walker trying to gain ground again as he tries to hunt down Chuck Spicer. This is definitely shaping up like it could definitely come down to that final lap, final corner. They're within 5-6 car lengths. They can try to drive it in deep on Spicer and clean him out. He's gotten ran into from behind 4 times already today. I wouldn't be surprised if it would happen a 5th, especially as we get later into this race. And it could be for the race win. All Spicer can really do is just try to hit his marks. And just kind of hope, really. A long straightaway between turn 8 and turn 1 is going to be the best chance to get a draft if you're Kelly Walker to maybe try to get the run into turn 1 to get around Spicer. Just about 0.6 of a second back into turn 8. Not going to have much of a chance there. Spicer kind of overran the corner just a tiny bit even on the bottom. 13 to go. He holds on to the lead. A little wide there in turn 3. Gonna beat Walker back to the gas. A little contact. Oh, and Walker hits him back. They got Spicer a little loose there. Walker's gonna have a run into turn 8. Slide of the tires. Almost making contact as he runs the 148 of Spicer a little wide. Side by side into turn 1 for the race lead. Kelly Walker is clear. He has passed Spicer. Spicer trying to get back around him. Brady Barnes back into it again. Deep dive into turn 3 for Spicer, and he clears Walker once again. Now trying to block into turns 4 and 5. And Walker gets into the wall, allowing Spicer to pull a little bit away. Making contact a couple times. Got to be careful again with these open wheel modifieds. Spicer holds on to the lead with 11 to go. Walker looking for the run. Spicer going to block. Across the bridge they go on the longest straightaway of the racetrack. The race is heating up here late. Into turn 1. He runs it deep. Oh, Spicer broke heavily. Around goes the leader. Spicer gets piled into from behind. Oh, the leaders have wiped out in turn 2. Spicer gets ran into again from Bruce Kennedy, trying to make his way back on the track, and then he gets dumped by Kennedy. Big pile around. Late in this race, heavy damage to the rear of Spicer's car. He cuts back across the track now on Darren Dempsey. Dempsey about goes for a spin. Oh no. And Brady Barnes leads the race with 10 laps to go. The handling of Spicer's car has gone away with the heavy damage to the rear. Kelly Walker dove into turn 1 underneath him. They were side by side all the way through turn 1 into turn 2. Spicer got loose, washed up the track, into the left rear. Both the leaders go around. And then while making his way back onto the racetrack, got ran into from behind off the exit of turn 2. And then when they got into 3, Spicer got dumped again by the car he pulled out right in front of. And he lost a couple more positions out of it. And Travis Foster has fought his way now ahead of Spicer because of that. And is likely in second place right behind Brady Barnes. Not sure exactly where Kelly Walker was able to continue. He hit that guardrail pretty hard. Foster kept I guess he nosed into the wall on the inside. And Walker would have hit the wall on the outside of the corner. And this is going to be the first road course race we're not going to win in the NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 season. Without any cautions, this is... it's not going to work. Even with a restart, though, too, this car is heavily damaged. Spicer's not DNF this season. We didn't DNF the entirety of the Truck Series season. We'll finish off with Carl Edwards as well. No DNF here. Heavy damage to the rear of the race car, but what a tough break for the points leader. Battling for the lead late with Kelly Walker, and car just stepped out from underneath him. Those are two tough tracks in these EA Sports games too, though, Michael. Darlington and Rockingham. Spicer going to look for all the points he can get. If he can get around the 177 up here, that'd be great. Better luck at Indianapolis Raceway Park in race 2, I guess, for Spicer. He's still in the top 10. He's in 10th place. Definitely could have been worse. Could have DNF'd. Finished 19th, well, 20th, I guess. Loose there in turn 2. He definitely doesn't have the handling he once did. Still try to gain as many positions as possible, though, and salvage at least a decent finish here. And he did lead some laps, got 5 bonus points at least, but I don't think he's going to lead the most. Took him about half the race just to get to the lead. So 5 laps to go for Brady Barnes to try and get the win here at Old Spice Speedway. Sliding the tires into turn 2 again there for Spicer as he tries to close on the 177. Actually hit his marks beautifully in turn 3, really closing the gap again. We lacking the straightaway speed though. Hopefully he can maybe get around him in turn 8. And try to outbrake him. Oh, 177 did not cut him any slack, and Spicer to jam on the brakes to keep it off the back of him. Can't battle too hard for 9th. I know he wants these points, knowing he's going to lose points here tonight to Travis Foster, but he's got to think big picture here. If he wipes out and loses more spots again, the situation's only going to get worse. He's on the outside into turn 3 with the 177, trying to undercut him now. Now he's back to the inside off the exit of the corner. Can't get the drive off with the lack of straightaway speed with the damage, but he does stay alongside the 177. He's doing what he can. A wrecked race car. Side by side into turn 8. They'll be coming to 3 laps to go. Outbreaks him. Spicer back to 9th. Oh, man, a little wide, almost into the grass. For the 177 that time, he couldn't hold on to the outside lane. Man, Spicer's digging right now. Damage on the 101. Remember, he slid wide into the wall a little earlier. In turn 2, that's Rod Hansen. He's got some damage. He's dragging and sparking. Trying to block Spicer, 2 to go. Jake from State Farm, welcome to the stream. Oh, that was definitely an accurate DNF last night. That's for sure. Oh. Spicer overran turn 1, lost a little bit of time there. He's got a shot to get another spot for 8th. I don't think he's going to have a chance to get the next position after that. Deep dive in turn 3. Can't quite stay alongside the 101. Well, he drives back alongside of him, though, in the next corner. Final lap. White flag in the air for Brady Barnes. He's got one more lap to try and hold on to win this race. Big dive into turn 8 for Chuck Spicer. Gains the spot. So he's back to 8th place. They're getting into a wreck, battling for the lead with Kelly Walker with 11 laps to go. Oh, man, now he just overran turn 1 into the wall. That didn't help. He's got to take care of the car. He's only got a half a lap to go. One more turn for Brady Barnes. And the number 83, and Barnes is going to come back to win at Old Spice Speedway after the 2 leaders crashed while battling for the lead in front of him with 11 to go. As he was able to walk away with it late. A rally to at least get a top 10 and an 8th place finish for Chuck Spicer, but going to lose points to Travis Foster, who finished 2nd here tonight. Brady Barnes gets the win. The final road course race of the season. Take a look at the top 10 here real quick. Again, Barnes with the win, led the last 11 laps after the leaders had wrecked. Travis Foster finishes in 2nd, George Dennis 3rd. No laps led for Foster, though, so at least that's a bright side for the points leader, Chuck Spicer. Elmer Caldwell finishes 4th. Kelly Walker led 1 lap, and that was the lap before the accident, unfortunately. Surprised he was able to at least rally to get a top 5. Spicer had a lot more damage, I believe, to his car, and finished in the 8th position. Bruce Kennedy 6th. Tony Durbin 7th. Chuck Spicer 8th. Rod Hansen 9th. And Davis rounds out the top 10. 29 laps led today for Hansen. He led the most laps. Only 5 bonus points for Spicer, who led just 4 less. And 25 laps led for himself. And the only 3 DNFs that we had here tonight would have been, actually we had 4 DNFs because Ryan Glover ended up getting into an or I guess blowing an engine there with 2 laps to go. So they finished 1 lap shy because they didn't catch lap traffic at all. So 4 DNFs, Glover, Myers, Ross, and Calhoun are the 4 drivers who failed to finish here tonight at Old Spice Speedway. We still got one more race coming up for you guys at Indianapolis Raceway Park tonight, so don't go anywhere. We still got another race coming. Don't want to get copyrighted for that. I got to turn the music off. There we go. We've had issues with that before. I think I've gotten 2 streams taken down because of copyright. Cardinal 150 at the Indianapolis Raceway Park will be the next race. We'll take a look to see how much Travis Foster closed in on Chuck Spicer, finishing 6 positions ahead of him. No bonus points, though, so I guess it's more like 5 positions ahead, so at least it wasn't a big hit in points. Spicer was at least able to rally to finish 8th. But it was a hit nonetheless. 157 points. I'm not sure why George Dennis is in second. I thought Travis Foster was second in points. Foster is 7th. Well, George Dennis still had a top 5, so I guess he beat it. Why was I thinking Travis Foster was second in points? I could have swore he was second. Oh, well. George Dennis is second in points. Elmer Cadwell is in 3rd. He still got a shot at it. And then Danny Ross back in 4th. It's going to be kind of a long shot from anybody behind there. So it's about a 3-horse race, I guess, between Chuck Spicer, George Dennis, Elmer Cadwell. Still 3 races to go. It is not sealed up yet. We'll go into Indianapolis Raceway Park. Again, 190 points is the max amount of points you could score in a race. Forgot I can't go there. There we go, select event. So 150 laps at IRP. Will be the next race here tonight. There we go. Definitely could have been a DNF, that's for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, 7 people watching. 7 people have hit the like button so far, so make sure you do hit that like button. I think we're just going to start this race up. No practice, no qualifying. Let's just hop in. From the rear at Indianapolis Raceway Park, green flag is in the air. A little, oh man, a big wheel spin there. Getting to the start for Chuck Spicer. So George Dennis, Elmer Cadwell, the 2 drivers trying to run down Spicer in points, both outpointed him at Old Spice Speedway. And already 3 wide off turn 4 in the opening lap towards the back of the pack. Spicer a little loose. Washed up the track. 192 brushes the wall off the exit of turn 2 as well. So much for practice or qualifying. Spicer's overrunning these corners just a tad. Not able to grip the apron here. A little stack up off turn 2. Spicer's kind of just trying to stay low and go at this point. Overruns the corner again. Contact with Travis Foster on the outside. Got to be careful. He's being way too aggressive, way too early in a 150-lap race. Only 22-car field. Loose again there in turns 3 and 4. Luckily, it wasn't underneath another car, though. Tried to run a little bit higher of a line on corner entry. Dives it back off. 101 going to pull down in front of him now. Just got to make sure that you stay above that yellow line. Pretty tight off the exit of turn 4 still at the 177. A little bump and run by the 101 car. Rod Hansen making a move. We're 13th on the racetrack. There you go. If you're Spicer, just right along with Hansen. Well, that was a big moment there for Spicer. He had to lift to keep it off the wall, off the exit of turn 2. He's getting loose because he's driving it in too deep on corner entry. Very good chance we're going to finish the modified series up tomorrow night. It's either going to be that or a Busch Series race, likely at Richmond. Richmond would be the next race there. Spicer loose. It's about to spin out one of these times. He's driving it in like that. That is not going to be a great situation for Chuck Spicer. He needs points. I mean, he is the points leader, but I don't want to be running 14th the whole race. Indeed, Michael. Just got to take my time getting through the field. Ooh, a little side-by-side and contact up ahead. Some contact between Hansen and Spicer off the exit of turn 4 as well. 115 just keeps getting held up on the outside. He got passed by about 3 cars. And a lap and a half now. Spicer's up to 12. The only dangerous thing with running mid-pack is if a crash happens in front of you, knowing there's not going to be any cautions, good luck trying to miss it. You're really putting your faith in a lot of drivers ahead of you, even early in a race. Spicer just can't really even get a run on the car in front of him to try and make a pass for 11. Great corner through 3 and 4. He still barely gained on him. Now we got to run off turn 2 and he'll make the pass. Stays hooked low, and he's going to get inside the top 10 at the start-finish line now, clearing the turn 1. Side-by-side just in front of him. He's going to try to follow 115 of George Dennis, the driver he is battling with in the point standings. In line behind him. Stacking up a little bit on the inside, and Dennis is in 8th. Spicer's up to 9th. Lap 19. Has a run on Dennis off the exit of turn 2 as he looks low. He's going to make the pass cleanly. Dennis is going to get stuck on the outside as well. Spicer ripping and ripping the inside. Big dive into turn 1 underneath the 163, and now Spicer's cutting through the field cleanly. He's up to 6th. What a fast race car. Didn't seem like that, but maybe the air pressure is building up over the course of the run now that we're 20 laps in, and it's helping him out. Top four are all still pretty bunched together. Will Calhoun. Next driver in front of Spicer. Spicer got the run off turn 2. Underneath him, down the back straightaway into 3. Sends it into the corner. Easily makes the pass. The car in 4th place ran the outside all the way through the corner. Gave up the bottom. Spicer gets under him. He'll pass him into 1 and 2 for 4th. And now he's got Kelly Walker in the 132 just up ahead of him. Now Walker and Spicer had a little bit of a run-in at Old Spice Speedway earlier tonight. Battling for the lead and crashing each other there. Battling for the lead with 2 to go. It was accidental, of course, and Spicer got a little loose. But now he's trying to maybe rattle the cage of Kelly Walker. Oh, geez, big stack up there. It might not have worked. Spicer almost lost a position on the outside because of it. I think he is going to lose it because he got loose again on the bottom in 3 and 4. Sends it into 1 and 2. He's still battling for 4th. He's not giving up the spot yet. Oh, Spicer just put it in the wall trying to block on the outside. Starting to be a little too aggressive again. And he's back to 5th. George Myers is the driver he's been battling back and forth with here. Myers is starting to close in on Kelly Walker for position as well. Spicer beats him to the inside, though, into turns 1 and 2. Clears Myers off the exit of turn 2 for 4th once again. Myers going to try a crossover. Spicer with a little bit of a block into the corner, and Myers drove it in maybe a little too deep. Spicer into the inside of Kelly Walker, side by side for 3rd. Spicer completes the pass into turns 1 and 2, so he is going after the leaders. Jonathan Everly, welcome to the stream. This is the modified series we are running tonight. It was at the time the FeatherLite modified series. Now it's known as the Whelen modified series. This game takes place in 2004. This is NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. Nathan, welcome to the stream. Or sorry, Nathan. I'm sorry. Nathan Suprenit, welcome to the stream. Hopefully I said your last name right. 3-car battle for the race lead now, just over 30 laps in. A little wide goes the second place car. That's the move for Spicer to get to the inside, but he slides in the center of the corner, can't complete the pass. He overdrove it, trying to capitalize on a late dive. Still is able to stay underneath and have the advantage on the inside into 1 and 2. And now up to second place behind race leader Danny Ross, who kind of cuts a little high into 3 and 4. Spicer wiggles up the track just a little bit. Ross holds on to the lead. The place is still all over Chuck Spicer trying to get back around him. He knows he messed up just a tad, and Spicer was able to capitalize on that mistake. Ross keeps going a little wide into turns 3 and 4. That might be the opportunity where Spicer is going to be able to make a pass for the lead. And yep, Ross dove it in way too high. He crowded Spicer in the center of the corner, though, and Spicer got a little loose again. That was the opportunity he was waiting for. Spicer going to try the outside now through turns 3 and 4. Just not enough grip up there. At least in 3 and 4. We'll try it again in 1 and 2. It's not going to work either. He's just losing ground, and now he's in the wall trying to hold the corner, and he couldn't do it. Wheel to wheel. Spicer barely keeps it off the wall off turn 4, and he's back to 3rd. Tony Durbin up to 2nd. said live, so I clicked on it. There you go. Well, hey, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. More daily NASCAR content. We got video game live streams every day, old, new, on top of other related NASCAR content, predictions, post-race analysis for the Cup Series weekends, fantasy advice along with it. All in the hopes of one day finding myself in the broadcast booth in NASCAR. This is the jump start, the young start to that journey. Appreciate the support as always. A little wheel touching going on there in turns 3 and 4. Contact made. Realistic broadcast with live races on the weekends as well. Cup Series gets back to Watkins Glen this next weekend. We will be doing it again, but then I go to the next couple races after that, so it'll be a few weeks between Watkins Glen. When they go back to Daytona, I believe I'll be doing the Xfinity race that weekend. Spicer keeps getting crowded by Danny Ross. Ross does not want to give that race lead up. He's led for quite some time. I believe he might have led every lap in this race so far, really. Lap 42, 150, still a long ways to go. Spicer just cannot get around him. Ross going a little wide there in turns 1 and 2 that time. Spicer again gets a run. Can he make his way around Danny Ross? Just not sure. Ross pulled him that last lap and a half, though, once again. Spicer's digging hard to the back bumper. Drives it deep into turns 1 and 2. Maybe this is the opportunity. Spicer clear off turn 2. Oh, and Ross gets into the wall. He overdrove the corner trying to hang into the outside after Spicer got underneath him, and Chuck Spicer's going to lead his first lap of the race. 5 bonus points there for the points leader with just 3 races to go in the season. Now Ross, who led the first 44 laps, is going to try to hang in there with third place breathing down his neck. We alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in this race tonight. That's good to see, Trevor. Another great thing with the interaction. You guys down in the chat below. Tell you what, this is a good battle between these top 3 right now. Really interchangeable on speed. Third of the way home. Will be lap traffic before the end of this race as well. Lap 50 of 150, so we'll have 100 laps to go at Indianapolis Raceway Park this time by. It's the first race at Indianapolis Raceway Park on this modified series season. Just 2 races to go until the championship after this. Both at tracks we have ran at once this year. That would be New Hampshire. It should be a pretty good race, always is when the modified series goes there. And then the final race of the year will be at Dodge Raceway. It's a quarter-mile short track to round it all off at the end of the season. So almost like the super speedway of modified series racing, and then a short track to finish it all off. Thanks for stopping by, Mason. Little bit of separation between the top two has grown over the last handful of laps. It's out to about a half a second race lead. But again, I'm sure when lap traffic becomes a factor in this one, it might start to bunch back together again. Looks like there's a second half of the field there pretty heavily bunched together. A little over a quarter lap, maybe a third of a lap ahead of the leaders right now. Mistake there by Spicer off turn 4. I'll bring some of these guys back into it again behind him. Well, that's not going to help either. Spicer overruns turns 3 and 4. So lap 59, the lead's back down to about 2 to 3 tenths of a second again. Between the top 3. And 8 people watching currently right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We had up to 12 at one point during the stream, so greatly appreciate it, guys. A lot of pressure behind Spicer right now in turns 1 and 2. Danny Ross looking to get back to the race lead. Drives it in deep into 3 and 4, but again, Spicer holds on to the bottom lane and holds on to the race lead. Made a bit of a mistake off turn 2 the lap before as well. A couple mistakes put together. The rhythm may be lost for this 148 car and allowed the second and third place drivers to get back into it again. Spicer nearly spins out on the inside of the racetrack. Ross to the outside looking for the lead into turn 1. Wheel touch and a little bit of contact. For a mistake there by Spicer, and he can't get down to the bottom. And the third place car is going to end up getting to the lead off turn 4. He puts Spicer in the wall. Spicer hard into the inside retaining wall now. Trying to get out of the way of the leaders as he gets wiped out on the outside of the racetrack. And now back to 13th, problems for the second straight race for the points leader. Oh my goodness, how quickly things can go bad. And how much damage is on the front of the race car. Back to 13th. This car's definitely gotten a lot tighter for Spicer. He was on the outside. And the third place car, who tried to make a pass in 3 and 4 on each of the top 2, cleared the initial car. He did not clear Spicer off turn 4, moved up the track, pinched him into the wall. And then the third place car ran into the back of Spicer after Spicer got pinched into the wall. And around he goes for a spin, head on into the inside wall on the front straightaway. By the time he regathered it, he's now in 13th, over 8 seconds off the race lead. Still just shy of halfway. We'll see if he can run him down, but with this damage, it is not going to be easy. It's crazy to think he was leading. So these problems just keep stacking up for him later and later into the season. There's a pass for 12th. See if he can rally back for another top 10, just like he did at Old Spice Speedway when he finished in 8th. He's definitely got a little bit better of a race car than what he had at Old Spice Speedway, that he might actually have a chance to get back in this and have a shot to win by the end. Not going to be able to be as patient. Oh, jeez. Ran turn 3 quite a bit there. He's not going to be as patient as what he was when he tried to get to the lead, because he's not going to have as much time. He's been flirting with DNFs here these last 2 races now. Remember, even in the race before that at Levi Strauss Signature Speedway, a couple of nights ago on Sunday night, we almost had the same issue. Sorry, not Sunday night. Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was Friday night. Because Saturday night we ran the Busch Series race. Old Spice Speedway. It might have been flip-flop. We might have done the Busch race at Old Spice Speedway Friday and then the modifieds on Saturday. Either or, it was either Friday or Saturday. But anyway, that race he had to miss 2 accidents in front of him. One in turn 2 and then one later in the race in turn 3. And get out to a decent-sized lead. Today he was involved in 2 of them. One in each race now. Still about 7 seconds off the leaders. Underneath Brady Barnes, but he slides in the corner and can't clear him. Actually, he has to fall in line behind him now. Barnes coming off that win at Old Spice Speedway. Sad part is, I believe the first second place drivers just kind of drove away, and Spicer was the only one of those 3 to spin because he was the one that got pinched into the wall and ran into from behind. Speaking of pinched into the wall, Brady Barnes got into the wall off turn 2, though he didn't get pinched. Spicer easily cleared him off the corner. He just kind of overran it, trying to maybe put the pressure back on Spicer once again. But even with the speed knocked out of the car, there is still some speed left in it here for Chuck Spicer. What a comeback this could be if he could get up there and win this race still, or at least contend for it would just be impressive of itself. Well, there isn't any cautions in this series. Quick pass on the 190 in turns 1 and 2. 163 of Rocky Glover right in front of him. Try to make a pass on him as soon as he can as well. Side by side for position just up ahead. Just gets underneath Glover. A little contact. Slight bump and run, but he gets around him for 9th. A little risky, especially with the damage on the race car, so he's got to be careful doing that. It was a short-term success. Already to lap 80. Big dive into the corner. Right behind George Dennis. Inside of Dennis now. Points leader back in front of the second place points getter again, so that's big for him. Not sure where Elmer Cadwell's been in this race. Oh, there he is. Never mind. He's in 5th right now. Spicer's already back to 6th. He's still over 5.5 seconds off the lead. Now the 3rd place driver in points. Cadwell not going to want to give up this position to Spicer. On turn 2, running low. We got a car on the inside of the racetrack who has blown an engine. He will make it into the pits. Very close to the wheels touching there. Spicer gets a little loose and still clears Cadwell barely off of turn 4 to get back in the top 5. And that driver who blew an engine slowed the leaders down because now Spicer's only 2.5 seconds off the lead all of a sudden. I believe it was a lap car that did blow an engine. And now there might be lap traffic in front of the leaders all of a sudden as well. So even after spinning about 20 laps ago, Spicer is back in this thing. Well, another driver's blown their engine in front of the leaders, slowing them down a tad bit again. That time it was the 192. He makes it to pit road, another lap car, and back-to-back laps we see drivers' engines dropping. Now that we're in the second half of this race tonight at IRP. Does this car have the speed it once did? I don't think it does. It's still got some speed, obviously, because he has closed in even before the lap traffic now. Still in 5th place. A lot of fast cars to pass. Oof. Contact with one of the lap cars. That wasn't ideal. Spicer gets around him. Lap 90. Top 5 under a blanket, all within a second and a half of the race lead. Spicer looks low off turn 2 for, well, not for position. I guess that was another lap car in the way. Kelly Walker, we know he's for position in 4th place. Now the top 5 are within 1 second of the race lead. They might be side by side for the lead up there as well. So was another lap car getting in the way. Spicer into the back of Kelly Walker. A little bump and run. Makes the pass around him very aggressively. Ooh, Walker got the wall off turn 2. Spicer deep into turn 3, trying to use this lap car as a pit car to get to 3rd place, and it is going to work to perfection. There's Danny Ross. He's in 2nd. Race leader was the one that pinched Spicer into the wall, but he is struggling to get around the lap car in the 177, kind of stacking the leaders back up again. Spicer trying to get underneath Danny Ross. Ooh, and he will. Well, he got underneath him. He couldn't clear him. He got a little loose off the exit of turn 4. Still stays underneath Ross into turn 1, though. We'll clear him there. Spicer is back to 2nd place. Quickly, Ross is in the wall off turn 4 now. Spicer going to have to follow the race leader, Tony Durbin, past the lap car. Off turn 4, Durbin trying to block. Durbin had punted Spicer into the wall. Spicer is trying to get Durbin maybe a little loose as he battles him for the race lead with well, just over 50 laps to go, really. That didn't work. No damage to the front bumper, kind of stacking up the field behind the leaders. Spicer holds on to 2nd. Really trying to rattle Tony Durbin's cage. Durbin got a little loose. Spicer checked up. He's going to lose a spot. A little wide off turn 2 for Spicer as well. Tries to cut down. Risky. Almost in the wall off turn 4 again. Kelly Walker's about to get around him for position, and now Spicer's getting trained. And all of a sudden, he's right back to 5th place. That was not ideal. Crossover. Lap 100. Oh, 3 wide. Haven't really seen that today. What a move by Spicer. Held on with a half a car on the apron. Really, first time he's been able to hold on to it today while doing that. And he was 3 wide. He kind of had to do that. There's really no room to go 3 wide here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. But he made the pass. He's up to 3rd. Elmer Cadwell up to 4th right behind him. .49 laps left. Didn't even realize they got 3 cars out of the race now. All in the last 20 laps, had 3 engine failures. Going to be a spin and win for Chuck Spicer to add on to the points lead, which is 2 races to go after the conclusion of this one. Dive bomb maneuver in 1 and 2. Makes a clean pass there for 2nd. Right behind Tony Durbin now into turn 3. Durbin gets a little sideways. Lane opened up for Spicer underneath, but then Spicer got loose off the exit of turn 4. Has to duck in line back behind him again. Spicer trying to maybe intimidate Tony Durbin. Not enough. Spicer's going to lose the position off turn 4. Perhaps he's hanging in strong for now. And now underneath of Tony Durbin for the race lead. George Myers is going to get out in front off turn 2. Spicer deep into 3. Gets back underneath Durbin. Slides off the exit of 4. Leads the lap at the line, but he's not clear of Myers yet. Now he's clear into turn 1. Up the track he goes. Back down to Block Cadwell. Side by side behind. What a battle for the lead. 44 to go at the line. Spicer from spinning is back in the lead. Even with the damage to the front of the race car. Little gap before the next set of lap cars as well to come up in front. Race leaders, 2nd through 4th, still changing positions quite a bit. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles one final time here tonight. Spicer's just got to go back to hitting his marks again, and he has so far since regaining the race lead. See how many laps led he can put in here as well. Maybe he can lead the most and possibly get a max points day even after spinning right around lap 66. Obviously would not have caught the leaders that soon. He still would be about 4 seconds behind him if it wasn't for the very first driver who blew an engine tonight. There's a lap car right in front of the leaders and checked them up. About 4 seconds one lap that Spicer was able to close on him. Went from about 6.5 seconds off the lead to 2.5 seconds off the lead. After being as far back as about 8.3 off the lead after spinning. Clipping the inside retaining wall head on. Everybody else was able to miss him to the outside of when he got cooked into the outside wall. He got T-boned from behind. Rear-ended, I should say, from behind. Definitely a double whammy effect, that's for sure. Half a second, the difference between the top two. Although there was a big break in the lap traffic side of things, Spicer will be catching more lap traffic before the end of this race. Some of it has been obviously costing the prior leaders. Spicer has not really had to pass any lap cars while he has been in the race lead. So this will be a new challenge for him. He did win at New Hampshire earlier in the season. That's where we go next. In the season finale at Dodge Raceway. The points already scored so far in the season for Chuck Spicer. There is a possibility that he could clinch the point standings after New Hampshire before even having a run at Dodge Raceway. Just like we were able to do in the Truck Series season-long points format. Racing as your guys' fan-voted driver of Carl Edwards. You guys also, fans down in the chat before the start of this season, chose me to run as Chuck Spicer. So probably the coolest name of any in the modified series here in this NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 video game. At least for the FeatherLite modified series. They're all generated drivers too, so I really didn't care. At least at the other series, I tried to, stay away from the generated drivers, but this one you have no choice. Still want to run the modified, so. 191. Richie Reed. The next lap car right in front of race leader, Chuck Spicer. Spicer out to about a 1.1 second lead before getting behind Reed. Just 29 laps to go here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Reed's crowding him quite a bit right now, and he is not making it easy for Spicer to put him a lap down. No cautions in the series. I'm not sure why they do that. It's the nature that is the NASCAR EA Sports video game. It gets crowded. Got underneath Reed a second time, got crowded, and got a little loose in 3 and 4. Had to get on the brakes to keep from spinning the car out a second time here tonight. And they have to try and set Reed back up again. There we go. Got Reed a little loose. Not loose enough, though. Cut Spicer off again. 25 laps to go. Got 2 lap cars right in front of Spicer. Reed's even caught the car in front of him. Might battle him for position. Lead down to about a half a second now for Chuck Spicer. Really nowhere to go. Gets back underneath Richie Reed off of turn 4. And he'll clear Reed in turns 1 and 2. Now he's got Howie Black right in front of him. Black got a little sideways. Spicer clipped him off the exit of turn 2. Drives underneath the 86, and look at him trying to crowd Spicer into turn 1, and he clips him, and Spicer's going to go up the racetrack just a tad, but he does clear him off turn 2 still. Drives it in deep, it gets back to the inside of Chuck Spicer. Off turn 4, he clears him again. Spicer holds on to the lead, crosses over the 86 in 1 and 2. Clears the lap car off turn 2 again. 20 laps to go, this time by. Second place is caught Chuck Spicer. Now that Spicer has hit that heavy lap traffic, really not too heavy, just 2 cars that he could not get around to save his life. And all of a sudden, we've got a battle for the lead in the final 20 laps once again. That quickly, they were able to pounce. Big picture, he gathered after 1 spin already today. And there's still 2 more lap cars in the vicinity of the leaders before the end of this race. This time, the pressure's already on Spicer versus having that 1.2 second gap by the time he gets to the next 2 lap cars. Might be an opportunity to pounce for the second place driver to get around Spicer and win this race. Spicer's slowly gapping that second place car. These 2 lap cars are on the lead lap. They are battling for position with one another. So again, not going to be easy for Spicer when he gets there. It's Wayne Huckabee in the 193 car who's right in front of Chuck Spicer for the moment. Trying to get him loose. Doesn't want to waste any time. In line behind Wayne Huckabee. $15 laps to go. Huckabee blocking Spicer on the inside. All the way down the front straightaway. Huckabee gets really sideways. Spicer into the back of him. Holds on to the race lead. It's more damage to the front of Spicer's race car. Now Spicer overdrives turns 3 and 4. That is not what Spicer wanted. Trying to get to Wayne Huckabee once again. Second place just overdrove the corner. Huckabee slides. Ooh. Spicer slid. Holds on to the lead now. He's got a lot of pressure behind him. Oh, and the second place car runs up wide on the inside. And second and third get into one another, allowing Spicer to pull away off turn 2. 12 to go this time by for Chuck Spicer, and he's going to hold on to the lead a little bit longer. Buys him more time. These two lap cars kind of pulled Spicer even the last couple laps, so he'll try to pull him back. $11 to go. Probably get to him by the next lap. And again, it's going to pull him out to about a 4/10 of a second lead. About a half a second lead. That's a little wiggly that time in turn 4. 10 to go. Off turn 2. Gets blocked by the lap car in front of him once again. Has to brake pretty heavily into turns 1 and 2. Now 9 to go at the line. Spicer's just clinched the most laps led at the start-finish line that time by. He is trying desperately to make a pass right now under these lap cars, and he's not able to. Just keeps getting crowded and blocked down the straightaways. Now he makes a run off the exit of turn 2. He's underneath. Oh, 101. Rod Hansen drives it in a little too deep. Almost overdrove the corner enough. Spicer gets around the first lap car. Now he's got to get around Rod Hansen in the 101. Second place is underneath the car right behind him off turn 4. Spicer down low underneath Hansen into turn 1. Drives it in deep. Going to try to clear him and does off turn 2. 0.6 of a second is the difference between first and second now. They'll be coming to 6 laps to go this time by. Spicer's got the clean air once again. And now trying to pull away to the finish. He wiggles a little bit in 3 and 4 overdrive in the corner. Can't be doing that. So second place can get around the lap car quickly of Rod Hansen. He's underneath him off turn 2 into 3 and 4. Clears him. 5 to go for Chuck Spicer. And about a half a second between first and second place. Spicer, after spinning at lap 66, came back to take the lead with about 40 to go, and now he is not really driven away, but he got out to a 1.2 second lead at one point. Well, now pressure is slowly back on again because of the 4 lap cars he had caught in the final 20 laps of this race, but managing the gap. A little bit of a wiggle up 4 again. He's pushing hard. 3 to go. Gotta hang on to it. He knows he's not going to catch any more lap cars these final 3 laps. And as long as there isn't a chance for second place to even get to the bumper, which right now there isn't with the space apart that they are running, Spicer's just got to hit his marks. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Chuck Spicer. 3 cars out of the race with a blown engine. Coming off the 8th place finish at Old Spice Speedway. Getting involved in the wreck, battling for the lead in that one. Well, this one, he spun out, came back to win. One final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Chuck Spicer will win at Indianapolis Raceway Park. The first and only event here at Indianapolis Raceway Park for the season in the Cardinal 150. And a big-time win here for Spicer. A drag-style burnout down the front straightaway. You can see his tire marks. When he spun on 4 after getting crowded into the wall and ran into from behind. He did a burnout over those marks. Goes all the way down the front straightaway now. The fans down at turn 1. Tiny section of grandstands over here in turn 2 as well. Spicer with the spin and win. Is this one of those moments that cements a championship season that we see so often in NASCAR? Even in the modified series, it could happen. And tonight it might have happened for Spicer. Just 2 races to go into clinching a championship, which with running 2 races in one stream for the modified series, that means we're only 1 stream away from finishing the modified series up now on NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup. So look at the finishing results. Again, Spicer at the win. Danny Ross up to 2nd. Tony Durbin finishes 3rd. George Myers 4th. Kelly Walker rounds out the top 5. Elmer Caldwell finished back at 6th. Bill Calhoun 7th. Bruce Kennedy 8th. George Dennis 9th. And Darren Dempsey rounds out the top 10 here tonight. Most laps led for Chuck Spicer, 63 laps led. Ross and Durbin led 44 and 43, but a max points day for Chuck Spicer on top of the spin and win. Pretty impressive, to say the least. 11 cars finished on the lead lap in this one, and we have 3 DNFs, all for engine failures. Brady Barnes, who came in off a win at Old Spice Speedway, finishes last in the next race. McMillan and Rocky Glover DNF. That's the second race Glover DNF'd in back-to-back races, unfortunately for him. Gonna have to mute the music now. Take a look at the point standings before getting out of here for the night. Again, final 2 races, 100 laps at New Hampshire, then 150 laps at the Dodge Raceway to round out this modified series season. Might be able to clinch that championship at New Hampshire if we have a good enough day, maybe get some help from behind. 190 points, again, is the max that you can score to race if you lead the most laps, and you win the race just as Chuck Spicer did a little bit ago here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. 209 points separates the top 2 between Chuck Spicer and George Dennis right now, so it's looking good for Chuck Spicer. Really good run at New Hampshire. Even a decent run, a top 10, will likely clinch the championship for him because you cannot actually outscore somebody by 190 points. That's just the max amount of points you can score in a race. So let me check real quick what we would need to actually clinch. So 2004 NASCAR points system. Just trying to find out what 22nd in points would score without leading any laps, because that would be... There it is. So if you finish 22nd, you'll get 97 points. That's without leading a lap at all in the race. So if you don't lead any laps and you finish last, you get 97 points. If you win the race and lead the most laps, you get 190. So you could outscore somebody by as much as 93 points. 93 times 2 would be 186. So we clinched the championship tonight then with this max points day. After the spin and win, if I'm doing my math correctly. I don't think it's mathematically possible for George Dennis and Elmer Caldwell to catch us. As long as we start the final 2 races, we'll score enough points to win the championship. Awesome. I didn't think we actually clinched the championship after this one. Otherwise, I would have stated it. But oh well. Well, I guess the next stream for the modified series will be for fun. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So we're 2 for 2 with NASCAR 05 in the championships. Truck series, regular season, got it done. Regular season for the modifieds, got it done. Now we'll just have to seal the deal here. Maybe we can go out with a 3-race win streak to finish things off. As far as the pole awards go for the season, We've got the most with 5. Danny Russell's close. He's got 3 of them. But yeah, that is going to wrap things up here tonight. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I guess we've wrapped the championship up here. I didn't think that it was possible to get it done, but a max points day, and then George Dennis did get a top 10. He finished in 8th, but not good enough to stay within that 186 point range. So we have clinched the championship. Thanks everybody for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'll see you guys tomorrow night on the channel. Once again, likely going to be some more NASCAR 05 action. Either going to wrap up the modified series here, or we'll run the Busch series. One of the two. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, I'll see you.